Hi, shalom, friends. We are in an election year cycle. It brings out the best of people and the worst of people. And it certainly provides a lot of interesting and sometimes excitable conversation. I would like to I'm going to give a suggestion, I believe, which is eminently doable, sensible, and logical, and I'm wondering if you would support me in this endeavor. Let's talk about just for candidates that are running for president. Every human being has restrictions and liabilities. We'll start with gender, we'll start with age, stamina, intelligence. You can't know everything, right? And then we have people that are partial. They're born with a prejudice. Even if they act contrary to their belief or their feelings, it still has a sway over them. And for the life of me, I do not understand this, but it costs so much money to actually be a candidate and to be successful. And you open up the radio and you hear extravagant amount of money which is being raised. Automatically that tells you that the people to whom this money will be directed to, they owe something to those people. So in spite of the fact that whoever gets into the White House is supposed to be representing each and every one of us equally, it's not possible. So how do we avoid all of this? I nominate AI. I think that AI, and it's getting better every day, would solve all the problems. It certainly has more information and could decipher the information than any human brain can. It doesn't have a prejudice. Now you might say, well, garbage in, garbage out. Okay, so it seems to me it would be fair to have people, scientists of different parties, poring over this, or maybe each one giving their slant, and let AI figure it out. Of course, you're not going to support me on this, and I'm not really serious that what a machine, a brain, should run a country. My question, though, is why not? We know it won't be, and it cannot be, and should not be. And this is stuff from the movies, The Matrix and so on. But why not? If we're looking for policy decisions that are best for the country, wouldn't it be good and proper for it to be given in a purely logical way? Why allow a person's prejudice or inadequacy or feelings to get involved? Okay, so I'll let you ponder this. But I would like to suggest what the country needs is not a brain. It needs a heart. And AI cannot feel. It could generate the right response. It could say, I feel your pain, I empathize, I sympathize, I am angry, I am enraged, etc., etc. But a machine has no feelings. A machine can give information. Is there anything lacking in terms of wisdom today, or information we have galore? I think that humanity today has so much wisdom, collective intelligence, that it really doesn't have to get any smarter to be more civilized and more human. What we're missing today is a heart. Well, the heart is the seat of emotions. The heart is warm. It generates enthusiasm. There's passion. there's feeling, or in italics, there's life. People know that taking advantage of others is wrong. People know that destroying property is wrong. People know that going to war is a last resort, if at all a resort. People know that. Question is, do we feel that? They say about one of the great righteous people, when he went to a doctor because he was run down, the doctor asked this great rabbi, so what do you do as a profession? He said, I'm an engineer. He was taken aback. He said, I thought you were a rabbi. As an engineer, what do you design? Bridges. He was again taken aback. I didn't know that rabbis could design bridges. He said, well, it's a type of a bridge that you're not familiar with. I try to build a bridge between the mind and the heart. And you have to be an engineer for that. Because the mind tells you much, but how do you feel it? And then even more importantly, how do you convey that? How do you convey an idea, especially if it is a moral concept or an ethical sound? Not with necessarily the brain as much as by modeling a behavior, conveying the behavior, demonstrating the behavior, and sharing the behavior with excitement. Okay. You know, we hope and we pray that the Mashiach comes. There'll be remarkable transformations when he comes. The rabbis tell us that he will be as wise as Solomon, or wiser, and he will be a great king like David, and greater. Now, if he's as wise as Solomon, why do we need him to be a king like David? And perhaps one way to say this would be, Maimonides explains, the king is the heart of the nation, not the brain. There's 71 great sages called the Sanhedrin, or the Supreme Court. And there was actually more than one, 3 of them. And then there are numerous and perhaps countless sages in Israel. We're not lacking wisdom, intelligence, or brains. Not necessarily in that order. What we need is a heart that radiates, a heart that pumps, a heart that instigates. What are we trying to do? Bring passion into the intelligence. We all know that serving God is a good thing to do. Being aware of a higher power and authority is very sensible. But how do we feel it? We need a heart. The Torah is both water and fire. It's water because it's life-giving, and it gives wisdom. It provides direction. It's fire because it makes us feel. So, in your own life, are you acting like AI? Do you do everything rationally? And if you do you feel your life filled with meaning and significance? After all, you're acting based on the information you have. Perhaps it's time to engage the heart. So for myself, there's a fair amount of Torah knowledge that I have acquired over these years from my teachers, from my books, from my studies. What I need is to be an engineer, to take that and translate that into passion. Passion for God, passion for good, passion for Israel, passion for my fellow man, passion for my community. Real passion, real feelings. Well, not easy, but doable. Shalom.